What up, ninjas? It is Panic 17. Today we got the news that Blahzay Roze is already let go from psychopathic. And for the most part, everybody's, joining in and making fun of her, saying that she had no talent. And for the most part, everybody didn't like how she played the victim. They thought that the first female artist on Psychopathic should have been a strong character, somebody of that nature. She definitely had that potential. That could have happened. But people need to learn how to wait. Blahzay is a damn good storyteller. It's been said many times over the years that they've been, doing their shit. We all know that he is. You don't start a story. Blahzay Roze was raped at 15, and now she's this strong character and, taking out guys and murdering them and ruthless. And no. Being raped is a tragic event. It's a big event that you've got to tell. If this is her gimmick, you've got to tell it. It can't just be, this event happened. Oh, and then she got over it and, became, powerful. No. It's got to be told. So let's say, whatever, the Broken EP doesn't come out. Those same songs are on a more full album. Let's say 11, 12, 13 tracks. A more kind of, fuller album than that little, whatever, 5, 6 track EP. And this first album is going to talk about the event that happened. She was raped at 15. And that's what, for the most part, this album is going to be. Your introduction into who Blahzay Roze is. She's this person who had a tragic event when her life is just barely starting. So let's go a little bit, let's have a track, a little bit before this happened and who Blahzay Roze was. Let's, I don't know, let's say that she was a normal girl, living a happy life. One track. That's it. One track. And then let's go into the event. What happened? How did it happen? Where was she? How did she get secluded and how did this happen? Who was this dude? How did he look? How did he go about committing his act? That could be one track or two. It's telling a story. It could be one track where it's leading up to finding him, or it's leading up to whatever event happened between them. And then the next track could be something where it, lets you know what happened, how it happened, how he overpowered her. And then you get another one where it's like a week and whatever. She can't eat, she can't sleep, she's going crazy, she feels dirty. I don't know, she's showering till her skin bleeds. And then, you talk more on this album about how it affected her. And of course, you're going to have, maybe you could have a substance abuse track where afterwards she gets into drugs and alcohol and, whatever. She starts losing her mind. This event really starts messing with her mind. Just get a feel of before, during, and after this event. Within 11 to 13 tracks, cover all the bases, and then maybe have a juggalo type track because it is, psychopathic. I don't know, whatever they decided to do. But that first album introduces you to who Blahzay Roze before, during, and after the event. And that's the first album. It could have been called Broken. You put those same, and then maybe take the Tommy song out of it That's what I would say. Pull that Tommy song out of it. Or you know what? Maybe it could work. You leave it for the end. The whole album, she's got raped. She's going crazy. All this bad shit is happening in her life. The last track of the album could be something like Tommy, where she finds this guy, and maybe not even exactly that, but something along the lines of she meets a dude. Let's say he's well-to-do, clean cut, dressed up, and treats her real nice. They start getting closer. One day, they go back to the house. They start making out or whatever. Dude's a clean-cut dude, but he just so happens to be into bondage and all this, kind of like submissive leather, straps and chains and all that shit type of sexual activity. And in the middle of that, she has flashbacks to her rape. She murders the dude out of like a panic attack or, just being back in that event. Murders the dude, cleans up, somehow gets rid of the body, doesn't get caught, realizes whatever months later, and this could maybe end right there. I'm still troubleshooting. This is obviously, it's not going to happen, but it would somehow lead up to she realizes that maybe she does like to murder. Maybe some kind of Aileen Wuornos, I believe that was the female serial killer who started killing dudes, and maybe becomes into like a female serial killer. And it doesn't even have to be that, like I said, which starts the new album, the second album, the follow-up Blahzay Roze album, where she's kind of turned her life around. She's not this weak, raped at 15, looking down at the floor when a man enters the room. She's this strong, empowered woman who doesn't take shit from anybody and no longer holds on to the memories of being raped. It no longer affects her negatively. She's over it, turned her life around, and then go from there. Maybe she starts killing motherfuckers. Like I said, she could be a female serial killer that kills dudes or rapists or whatever. I don't know. But look, the long drawn out shit that I just spilled can basically be said like this. First album, Blahzay Roze. You get a feel who she was before the rape. We get a feeling of what happened during the rape, where her mind was after the rape, months, years after the rape. How did it affect her negatively? How crazy she went, how many nights she thought about it. Does she fear certain dudes that look like him? And that's the whole first album, is a weekend Blahzay Roze. This event happened, leading up to a second album where she realizes that she's no longer this weak individual. She's a person who had an event happen, spent however many years feeling sorry for herself, but now it's no more. She's this strong individual, maybe a killer. I don't know. Obviously, I'm just thinking. But she could have been this strong individual. But you have to take time to tell this story. I just think a lot of people hopped on the bandwagon way too early, started talking a lot of shit. I'm sure Psychopathic seen that. And let's just throw the okay, whatever, she sucked dick to get on the record label. Nobody knows there. Nobody was in that room with them. I'm just going to assume nobody knows. And people say what they say. But then look, this is what nobody's talking about, is the fact that Blahzay said, we're not together, it's over. And all of a sudden, wait a minute, they were. Apparently, Blahzay dropped some kind of altered lyrics on another love song because Becky fucked my homie. Oh, so you lied to us and you were with her. Obviously, that's none of our business, but nothing probably should have been said anyways. Nobody's saying nothing about Blahzay, you know, telling us that he wasn't with her when he really was, and now there's all these problems, and he got kicked out. She got kicked out, and it's a mess. This could have been something positive for Juggalettes. You just needed to wait. You just needed to let the story play out. You don't start an ending at the beginning. And maybe they just didn't want, they wanted her to be strong off the start. Well, that's just something psychopathic would have had to come up with. But look, I think it would have been better, you know, do the whole, you know, raped at 15 gimmick. Let that whole first album tell her story, and then the second album she comes as a strong female. But it is what it is. She's gone. Everybody's a producer and knows what psychopathic should do, so it's all good. I just thought we could have seen an empowered Blahzay Roze. So that's it. Panic 17. Whoop to the whoop.